Welcome back to Training Vlog 19. So this is Monday night of week 7 of week 12. So I'm going to do a little update here. My calories have been dropped by 228 for this week, so I'm going down on my calories again. And then I hurt my wrist on Friday, but it is feeling significantly better today. So I was able to work out, have a good workout, but I took it easy on a lot of the movements and I was very cautious of my wrist. And I changed out some of the movements like barbell rows and reverse grip barbell rows got changed out to reverse grip pull downs and then to seated wide grip cable rows. So that way it takes some of the stress off of my lower back, because right now I'm not trying to put any additional stress on my joints, on my low back or anything. I kind of lost my way there a little bit last week and the week before last, losing sight. Like the whole purpose of this training block is to lose as much body fat as possible, preserve as much muscle as possible, while in the pursuit to getting my abs visible. So I'm not trying to build per se. I'm not trying to build any muscle mass. I'm just trying to keep what's already there while burning as much fat. And I can't get carried away with lifting heavy or doing high intensity or doing anything like that without getting hurt. Also, I stopped taking my supplements about 2 weeks ago before my workouts. And my supplements was creatine, glutamine, arginine, and beta-alanine. And I stopped taking them because I wasn't sure what kind of effect they were actually having on me, if there was any benefit to taking them versus how much they cost to take, at least the amounts that I take. And I only take them pretty much before my workouts. Well, I can definitely say going into week 2, this is the second week I haven't been taking them. And I can definitely tell there is a huge difference in my pumps and my vascularity. My vascularity is not nearly as good as it was. My pumps aren't nearly as great as it was. Now, I could chuck this up to saying I'm in a calorie deficit, I'm doing a lot more cardio and eating a lot less food, and there's the reason why my pumps aren't as good. But my vascularity has gone down along with my pumps. So I'm going to give it the rest of this week, and then I'm going to add them back in next week whenever I drop my calories once again and go even lower and see if I can't regain my pump and vascularity through my supplements and hydration alone, and see if that makes a big difference on my actual workouts as far as it goes for vascularity and pumps. Because I still want to feel good while I'm in there working out, and I still want to have that vascularity and pumps, because it gets me motivated to keep pushing harder while I'm in there,
Yeah, for sure. With the training though, I really enjoy doing this program. It benefits me very well, but like you said last week and the week before, like a little into the week before that, we were mixing it up a little bit, and it wasn't bad. It's just like you were saying, it was going a bit heavier, like a bit of a heavier mindset than a volume mindset. So doing something like that, it is nice, but again, I do really enjoy doing this type of setup that we have here. So going back to it, I have no issues with that. It's just in general, like it's good for me. But yeah, like this week though, I weighed myself Sunday. I'm down again a little bit. It's the lowest I've been at so far. So I'm at 270.6. So almost into the 260s. But so far, like my meals are fairly the same. I did add a little bit more beef stock to my meals, gone up in rice a little bit, and a little bit on the red meat for some of my meals. And then you know that I'm not a big fan of bananas. Like it's just like they got to be at that perfect ripeness. So I did find, because you had mentioned them, like the banana chips, and I enjoy those things. They're so good and they're crunchy. So that's my go-to for my banana right now. But yeah, like the training tonight though, with the exercises and everything, that went well. I felt good about them. I enjoy doing the dumbbell presses and stuff for the chest like workouts, and then switching up the row movements to the reverse grip pull downs and the wide grip rows. The wide grip rows were incredible. Like it didn't take a whole lot of weight, but I felt it just dead center in the back, which was really nice.
Yeah, so to recap for those of you guys who don't know, the routine is basically 4 different exercises per body part with 4 sets of each one, being a total of 16 sets per body part. And we do 2 different routines within 6 days. So we do a total of 32 sets per muscle group per night. We try to shoot for 8 to 12 reps per set. Some nights we might push further than 12, or we might do supersets or drop sets or something of the sort of that, to give you guys a little idea of what we do for the actual routine. And then what he was talking about was, and what I was talking about earlier too, was I'm by trade a powerlifter. I love powerlifting. I used to compete in powerlifting. So when I start bodybuilding and the weights start getting heavier, I start getting excited. Then I want to revert back to that old powerlifting mindset. Then I want to shift over gears into powerlifting. And then fortunately, my wrist got tweaked and I think I have a mild sprain in it. And that kind of humbled me and put me back in place. Like, hey, you're not doing this to get hurt or for performance no more. You're doing it for aesthetics and size. So that kind of humbled me. Now, going back to about your weight, so you're 270, we'll just say you started off around like 290, 295 to be safe, because your first scale that you had was kind of wonky. So we'll just say 295 because you were on the larger side. So being around 295 to 270, that's 25 pounds in 7 weeks, basically. Well, this is week 7, so 6 weeks, you've lost 25 pounds. And in fact, you've been so successful losing weight, you're able to actually increase your food, which increases your calories, which is going to slow your weight loss down some, but it's going to help pick your metabolism up and help you preserve muscle mass and actually even possibly build muscle mass while you're coming down deficit, which is what you want to do, right? That's the whole end goal. You want to build size, you want to build muscle while burning fat. And if you can afford eating more food, good food, then you need to add more food. I think most people mess up and they start reducing their calories too soon without increasing them first. And if you're losing weight and you can increase your calories and continue to do more output, which will allow you to burn more fat while eating more food, whenever you're not able to do more output and you stall out, you're able to start reducing your food at that point, which will allow you to keep moving forward and have forward progress. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about how to manipulate their diet. And I think they start going down too soon, too fast. And finding something you enjoy, like the bananas, that's like the banana chips, because you're right, you don't like the bananas, but the potassium and the health benefits for bananiums for bananas, that's our new thing for bananiums, like uranium, but for that, the health benefits are amazing, especially with helping blood pressure, which you had elevated blood pressure, so did I. And doing the bananas and blueberries daily, it actually lowered our blood pressure. Losing weight, doing cardio, dieting, but also adding in the bananas and the blueberries, which has a massive amount of potassium, which is directly known for lowering blood pressure. It makes a big difference,
Yeah, it did help a lot with, especially like I had a wellness exam thing that I have to do every year for work, and my blood pressure reading was down dramatically from previous years. And just overall, like the diet itself has helped me, but again, like you were saying, like with me increasing my amounts that I'm eating by a little bit each time, or this week and even some into last week, it is to kind of negate it, because the week prior I was like 273 exactly, I believe. So I went down roughly a little over 2 pounds in a week, and it's nice going down quickly, but I don't need to come down that quick. I'd rather up my calories and slow it down to maybe like a pound or so a week if I can. That way, when I do have to start cutting back again, I'm not dropping too far down into a calorie deficit. I'd rather be on the higher end. That way, if I decide to do like a quote unquote cheat meal, fun meal, whatever, it's not going to destroy me at some point if I make that decision. But just in general, like I'll have a higher range of calories to work with than finish dieting and cutting and everything and be at 1,500 calories is like my body is ready to maintain at. I don't want to have to do that.
Well, also doing that, it prevents you from being hungry in the beginning stages. I think most people jump into it too fast, and then they get that overwhelming sensation of hunger very aggressively. And then now there's a place for that extreme dieting in the beginning and being hungry. If you're on the verge of having a heart attack and like your arm is going numb and you're like, you can't sleep at night, sleep apnea, and you're like literally like a month away from dying, yeah, go extreme as you possibly can to get it down as fast as you can, so that way you don't die. But if you're not in that situation, taking your time, coming down on weight and going up on your food allows you to avoid being hungry for a longer period of time. And the longer you could go without feeling hard hunger pains, the longer you could stick to it, the more comfortable you could be. And then when you start bringing your calories down slowly, 150, 100, 200, 250 a week, depending on what you decide, depending on the rate of what you want your weight to come down at, is how hungry you're going to end up being. And the longer you take to come back down, the more your body can adjust to those calories and that hunger. And you're not going to get hit with hard hunger. It's going to be mild hunger, but you're still going to reap the benefits of coming coming down, but you're coming down slower, which is going to take longer, but it's going to avoid having those really, really harsh hunger pains. Like for me, like I started off at 2,500 calories and I worked all the way up to 3,850. And now I'm coming down. And right now I'm sitting around like, I think around 2,800 or 3,000 calories a day. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to go back and look and actually add everything up. I have it written down, but I just don't have it next to me to see exactly what the calories are at. And honestly, I think that's the better way to do it, because it gives you time to get used to getting off of all that other food without the feeling of being hungry. Then by the time you start allowing yourself to cut back to the point that you're hungry, you're no longer like addicted to those foods that you were eating and they don't have a hold on you, you know? And I think that's the best way to go about doing it.
Yeah, and having, like I said, the meal choices we have right now, or that I'm using, it's not like I'm restricting myself. I'm eating things that I, for the most part, like I enjoy eating. Like I said, the bananas were a bit of a hurdle, but found something that I can replace them with that's basically the same, because it's a banana chip and I enjoy them. Like I like the crunch, and I'm a big chip eater anyway, so this just works out for me.
Yeah. And like I said, it's finding foods that you enjoy eating naturally that you can actually stick to, which is going to be the ticket. And, you know, like I try to tell people the best workout for you is the one you'll stick to, and the best diet for you is the one that you'll do regardless of what it is, you know. And for me, my biggest problem is powerlifting was a routine that I could stick to no matter how dull, boring, or repetitive it became. I just loved it. So bodybuilding, it doesn't have that same feel to me, but I gotta get in that mindset. I'll transition over and switch gears, and then bodybuilding will become my new magnificent obsession, you know. So, yeah. But I think that's going to be it for me on this one. Is there anything you want to add to it?
No, sounds good for tonight.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys stopping in and checking us out. You have any questions, leave a comment. I like reading them, especially whenever you guys give me topics to talk about. You know, that definitely helps out, because sometimes we get lost with what to say, like, what are we going to talk about tonight? So, but like always, guys, we appreciate you watching. Remember, no agony, no bragging.
Yeah, catch you later.